Hello everyone, welcome back to Skeledon, Bushcraft and Survival. Glad you could join me. Now today is all about taking care of your knife out in the wilderness. Now, for those of us that love carbon steel, whether it be the fact that you can actually find rocks in the creek bed that you can use to sharpen them, but it throws sparks with flint and quartz. Get a nice sharp edge. There we go. I'm pretty sure you've seen that one. Anyway, thing of it is we got to keep care of it. We got to make sure that it doesn't rust, right? Well, today I'm going to show a method that you can use out in the woods to keep your knife from rusting. Walnut holes. Now, trappers been using these to prevent their traps from rusting for years. My papa used to do it. And you can use this right here. Put it in a can, fill it up with water, and boil it, and that's what we're gonna do today. So, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna boil that down into a stain, because you could do two things. Number one, put your knife in it overnight. It'll prevent it from rusting. It'll actually turn it all black. And the second thing is that actually is stain. So if you're at home and you're wanting to stain something, walnut stain, this is the way to do it. All right, so first things first, we're gonna have to start the stove up, get that on boil, and yeah, I'll come back. Out in the wilderness, the only thing that you would use for this, of course, is like preventing things from rusting, right? But the nut itself, walnut, you can actually boil that down, get the oil out of it, and you can finish and put a clear coat on your, wooden silverware, if you will, so, or dinnerware, I should say. So yeah, all right, well, when this gets to boiling, I'll come back. It's boiling, and you gotta, when it gets to boiling, turn the fire down, or back it away if you're using a campfire or something like that, and just let it simmer. And like I said, just let it boil down, all the water evaporate, and where it is right now is basically where it was when I filled it up, and I didn't show that, and I apologize about that. But yeah, I filled the can full of the walnut hulls, and I just basically eyeballed the water. So that's about how much water per walnut hulls that you need. All right, now I've already boiled down to the bottom, and I put more water in. Now I brought it up to a boil, and now I'm going to go ahead and shut it off and let it cool down, and then it is ready. Oh, that looks nice. Now, you can put your blade right in it when it's cooled down and let it set overnight. What I normally do is I normally strain it out, because I use it for stain as well. So, home projects and stuff like that. So, it's like, don't waste anything, right? And that's what I was saying about the nuts itself. If you boil them up, I mean, they're good eating. If you don't want to boil them up, just eat them. But no, but out in the woods and stuff like that right there, you boil that up and just get the oils out. You boil it down to the oil of the nut, and then you can clear coat your wooden forks and wooden spoons and so on and so forth, and that will give it a protection, and it won't allow other things to soak into. So that's a good thought. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool down, and this is the stick that I've been using to you know, push it down, it does stain quickly. So, don't get your fingers in it or it will stain your fingers. And it takes days to get off. So, anyway, let me just go ahead and show you the difference between this and that. So, there's a major difference between the wood color itself and the stain. So, it's great stuff. But anyway, that right there is how, one way, it's not the only way, but it's definitely a good way of keeping your carbon steel knife from rusting out in the wild. Now, I carry oil with me so that I can oil it up, but if I ran out of that oil and I needed something else, this will definitely work. Bright shiny knife going in. At that. Turn. Just let it sit like that right there. And you can actually let it set in all night long. It won't rust. Not now. Yeah. My papa used to do this with these traps. He would let them in there and set them overnight. And you can do the same thing with your knife. So that is one way that you can definitely keep your knife from rusting. Carbon steel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this type of video, please like, share, and subscribe. I have many more coming up in the future. Until then, take care. And remember, nature, it does provide.